don't have very good Wi-Fi in the Underworld. And I'm really hot. It's very hot. Even this air conditioner cannot cool me off at this point in time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Everything But the Podcast. If you're on Patreon, you're seeing video. If you're not, you're not. That's about it. You're only hearing audio if you're not watching on Patreon. So go to the freaking Patreon. What are you waiting for? It's only $6 for video, which I may actually change soon, and I may allow the video on the lowest tier of $3. I haven't decided yet. But I may just do like the $3 tier just gives you access to almost everything, at least for the foreseeable future while the economy is in the state that it's in. And a lot of people can't afford very much, so I thought about doing that. I know people are probably like, weren't you just doing everything for free? Yes, until now. Now I'm not, because I need help too. I was doing stuff for free. Leslie's video is frozen again, Twiztid Joker.
Sorry, my son keeps calling, so I had to text him.
That must be what it is. Whenever you answer it, it must freeze up your video. We don't have a lot of time here, but we do have, well, last time we did a game with death at the end, which I guess we'll try to do again this time, but I've changed it up. This time it's going to be trivia questions centered around facts about death. And what's going to be interesting is some of the questions will be about death in general, and some questions will be about death as in the persona of death, as in the Grim Reaper. But they're going to be, I'm going to mix them together. So that should be kind of fun. And
that'll be interesting.
I think my general premise for when I did it originally was going to be both of you are a team this time. So instead of working against each other, your goal is to get the answers right. So because you're already in the afterlife now, and you're just trying to come back. So I wanted to do it kind of like a story mode, like a freaking gnats everywhere. It's like I'm in the afterlife right now. The only unfortunate thing is I didn't write it out, but I wanted to write something out to where like you summon death to do the game with you, and that's when I was going to transform into death. But I didn't have enough time because I waited until last second since I'm a procrastinator, and I didn't get it up in time. So I'm just going to, like, when it's time for the game, I'm just going to, like, duck down, and then death will appear. That's how we're going to do it. And we'll just randomly be in the afterlife. But the goal is to, I don't even know how many trivia questions you need to get right, because we have a short amount of time, so we'll wing it based off of what we're doing on how many, because there's a total of like over 60, which I doubt we're going to have time for. So we may have to do 2 parts on it. That could actually work. This could be part 1 of escaping the realm of death, and then on the next episode could be part 2. So we do like 30 something for each episode. I don't even think we'll get 30 on this episode because Leslie is strapped for time, but we do actually have some weird news. But first, I need to announce that we are now officially part of the Strange Society network of podcasts. Oh my goodness. Please tell me I said that right. Imagine if I said it wrong. I'm almost 100% sure. Yeah, it's the Strange Society network. Monster Mash Ken from Where the Scary Things Are, the horror podcast, which Twiztid Joker, you remember, they came on for episode 13 and played the Wordemology game with us. He was the one that invited me to come into this network of other amazing podcasts. I'm probably going to do some ads for them at some point, all of them, but I don't want to do more than like 3 ads in one episode. But just to name a couple off on this one with one that just got added when I did, this podcast just got added to the network as well. It's called Behind the Screams Podcast. The owner, and I guess he's the host, owner, and producer, is his name is Ian. And so I asked him to send me a little bit of a synopsis on what his podcast is about. So on Behind the Screams, Ian and his friends delve into the world of horror in the form of movies, video games, and novels. They discuss their positives and negatives on a topic each week and give their overall ratings. And they also have a side series of episodes coming out where they will be discussing their top 5 on various horror topics, with top 5 vampire movies and top 5 kills coming very soon. And they also have, this will tie into us, they also give out interesting trivia on their chosen topic. They're a massive supporter of the LGBT rights and equality and race, and promote positive mental health, which is always good because we promote positive mental health over here as well. and they entertain anyone who listens to their show, and hope that everybody enjoys if you would check them out. So obviously that's not going to be like a full, like, planned out professional ad that I read out. This is just me just trying to describe a couple of the channels and tell everybody to go check them out. Or make sure that you follow oh my goodness, paranormal, what am I talking about? Strange Society Pod, I think is how they're, or Strange Network Pod. Oh my goodness. Let me just get on their freaking Twitter so I can find the actual handle. Strange Pod Net is the Twitter for the Strange Society Network. So anybody who's listening or watching, go to that, and they'll be in their profile. They'll have a banner, and they also have the links to everybody's Twitters. That's a part of this podcast. There's a lot of amazing podcasts on there. But I also wanted to mention one of the biggest podcasts, I believe, on there is The Last Knock. Oh, I hope I didn't butcher that too. Yeah, The Last Knock podcast. And that is done by somebody who I've followed on Twitter for a while, but I haven't really got to know him. But The Last Knock horror podcast discuss the themes and imagery of horror cinema, and your hosts Billy Crash and Johnny Numb, which are really cool names to me, also interview horror directors and stars, which we've been known to do in the past. This podcast has been around for 7 years, and they have about 400 episodes available on Spotify, iTunes, and CrashPalazProductions.com right now. And they've even had Entertainment Weekly called The Last Knock one of 5 essential podcasts for horror fans. So if you aren't already listening to Last Knock, I mean, Entertainment Weekly is commenting on them, so I would say that's a pretty good idea to check them out. I've got them added to my list on Spotify. And then I guess the last shout out, they are not a part of Strange Society Network, but I have become good friends with at least 2 of the 3. I haven't talked to the third co-host yet, but I've talked to Taylor and Courtney. I've not gotten a chance to meet or talk to Kayla, but that is the Gin and Terror podcast. One of my favorite podcasts right now. They combine true crime with like paranormal stories, which is right up your alley, Leslie, that you're a paranormal investigator. Courtney usually tells a real life paranormal story on the episode, and then the other 2 usually cover a true crime story, which I usually don't. I don't really listen to true crime podcasts, but freaking nuts, man! My goodness.
I need to check her out.
You can find them at Gin and Terror Pod, I believe is on Twitter, or on Facebook and Instagram. You can find Gin and Terror Podcast. They're also available on Spotify, Apple. So yeah, check them out and be sure to leave them a 5-star review. I've already left them a 5-star review, and I believe Taylor is working on getting a Patreon back up for them. I hope to actually subscribe to their Patreon. That's how much I love the show. That's not very often that I talk about another podcast other than like Tell 'em Steve Dave that I enjoy that much. But yeah, I've been listening to them a lot at work, and some of their stuff will make you emotional, I should warn, because some of their stuff, since it is true crime, it is dealing with real crime and stuff that happens, so it can mess with you a little bit. Hey, man, you're not the star of the show. Leslie is. What are you doing? But yeah, so that's the ads for this episode. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump into some weird. Oh my goodness.
Kitty
let's jump
invasion.
into some weird news real quick, which I do have. Let's see. A pair hired for a man's sexual fantasy turned up at the wrong address with machetes.
Wow.
Now, the only thing that sucks about the weird news is I can't see your facial reactions because I have to click on the page to see the news. So I can't see what your faces look like. So I won't see them until I'm editing later. What else have we got? I did find some other one. A house collapsed into a river in China.
That's so common.
Indian officials claim Pakistan spy pigeon captured.
Spy pigeon.
A spy pigeon.
Wonder what kind of intel he gives.
Here you go. This is a very, very strange form of laughing gas. Where would you think that laughing gas would come from? Because this is not anything I would expect.
I have no idea.
If it was going to be naturally and not made like scientifically.
A goat?
You are close. It is in the animal realm. You're never going to see it coming.
A squirrel?
Nope. All right, I don't know if Leslie wants to answer, so I'm going to wait and see if she wants to give a guess.
I'm waiting. I'm trying to see. I'm trying not to cheat.
This is not the trivia yet. Don't worry, death hasn't arrived. It's just a question based off the weird news.
I have my crystal ball right here.
Oh, jeez.
Let me look into it real quick.
The answer is Leslie, if you want to take a guess first, I'll let you. Otherwise, I can tell you. Nope, it's actually scientists went cuckoo due to laughing gas from penguin poop.
Wow.
Freaking penguin, not even the penguin, but the penguin's freaking poop is what made them laugh. I don't know if the sight of watching a penguin poop was just hysterical to them or somehow it emitted a natural aroma that just makes people laugh. But yeah, that's what happened.
Alrighty then.
Apparently, scientists have made mistakes on whether certain dinosaurs being male or female. Mysterious radiation spike detected over Scandinavia. It's not ours. Government denies knowledge of a strange UFO over Japanese city. Speaking of weird kind of paranormal events, I had something weird happen to me, which I meant to talk about in an earlier episode of the podcast. Oh my goodness, I'm burping. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was driving. I was driving home from. Sorry, I was trying to pretend it was the penguin poop, and I was just laughing hysterically. But it probably just looked like I was being a douchebag, which I wasn't. I was just trying to do the penguin poop. Anyway, I was driving home from work one night, and I've never seen anything weird around Lewistown. I don't know if you've ever seen anything weird around Lewistown.
Not really.
Twice in my lifetime, I've seen something weird in Lewistown. The first thing I've never talked about to anybody other than my wife, who was with me at the time, and that to this day, I swear, was a UFO. I might go into detail on another episode. We don't have enough time on this, so stay tuned, people. When we have more time, I might go into detail on that. I want to actually write out the detailed description of what I saw, but it was very strange. But the second one was a few weeks ago. I was driving home from work, and out of freaking nowhere when I was driving, a white mist was there. Like, Twiztid Joker, you remember, when you come home from Walmart to come into Lewistown, you go off that little bend to go down by the minute mark. It was literally right there. Turning into the bin was a freaking mist of smoke. There was no cars, nothing smoking around me or nothing. I didn't smell anything. It was just a white mist. It was there, and I remember actually physically, because my window was down, I remember physically being like, that was really weird, and then looking in my rearview mirror, and it was gone. Like, that fast. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Wow. But I do know that in Lewistown, in that area, was where that woman that, I guess, that elderly lady that wasn't in the mental place or whatever had got out of her house and drowned in the river. Yeah. So there is possibility that
mist probably was an apparition, or it could have been an apparition.
But I mean, I want it to be for the sake of the podcast to be interesting, so let's pretend it was. I don't think it was, but it was just interesting that it was out of nowhere, and then I drove through it and it was gone. Because like I said, if I would have seen a car or something like that, I'd be like, oh, it's somebody's exhaust or something. There was nothing around. Because I get off of work at 10:45 at night, so it was around like 10:50. It was just a weird thing that happened. I thought it would be interesting to talk about. Twiztid Joker, did you have any tales from the vape store this week?
No, this week actually was pretty, laid back and chill. Not much happened.
Leslie, I know you did an investigation earlier this week, so you might have something to talk about. If we could brief it. We could keep it brief to jump into the game.
Yeah, it would be brief because I don't want to spoil my video. I haven't even.
Don't worry about that. We'll save it till next episode after your video comes out, and then we'll talk about it at that time.
I know. I probably won't release it to the end of July.
Oh, holy crap! Well, that'll give listeners something to look forward to at the end of July.
Yeah, it's hard to stomach. Like I was, trying to edit, and in between editing, I know I'm always focused, but when you hear things and, being, having mediumship and empathy, and you walk into these places and you know already what's going on, and then when you're editing and you hear the actual voices come through of the things that happen, especially, I'm not going to mention him, keep it PG-13, but when horrible things happen to little children,
right?
I choke up. It comes from here and here. I'm like, and I'm just like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do this. So I'm constantly, I sit right where I'm at right now to edit, and I'm walking around texting people and trying to get my mind off of it, because it's just, Oh my gosh, I can't shake that feeling.
Well, what did we cover? Like 2 strange. Here we go. A new robot explorer dog will only set you back 63 stimulus checks. Who's buying that freaking thing? This underwater Italian ghost town could reappear on land next year.
Oh, where's it at?
The Tuscan town of Fabrice di Caragine was flooded in 1946 to make room for a hydroelectric dam. It can make a rare appearance. It can make a rare appearance above water next year.
Road trip.
Wait, live cannonballs are not recyclable, according to this article, and it says, "Ask me how I know." A recycling center was recently evacuated after someone turned in a Civil War cannonball.
Cannonballs are just like balls of freaking lead. What the heck?
Apparently, there was a false viral story of drunk elephants in China.
Again?
This was a false story, though. Florida lizard breaks world poop record, dies constipated. A curly-tailed lizard's belly was stretched by a mass of unpassed poop.
What is it with poop?
I guess he never let it out.
Every time you say the name poop, you should put the poop emoji on the screen.
Unfortunately, I can't. The only reactions it gives me is this one, which is this little wave, and this one, which is a little thumbs up. I wish it would add. I wonder if I could add more into it.
Yeah,
just be like a little poop emoji. Or just make the poop emoji cover my face while editing.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We have a pig that pooped out a pedometer and started a fire.
Oh my gosh.
A farm in northern England recently caught fire after a pig swallowed and then pooped out a pedometer, sparking a blaze with the device's battery.
Wow.
Man slams truck into Easter Island statue, causing incalculable damage. I bet he's going to be cursed. Because I doubt them spirits at Easter Island are going to appreciate you slamming your truck into them.
Just wait, whatever happens, he's got to film it. Send it to me.
Yeah. Bizarre ice volcanoes erupt on Lake Michigan Beach.
Ice volcanoes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hang on,
I want to see that.
Let me. All right, we'll see how this works on the editing, but I'll share the screen with you guys right quick for a picture of it. There it is. Bizarre ice volcanoes. Ice volcanoes spewed plumes of water on the shores of Lake Michigan last weekend, which was, I don't know when. Oh, this was in like February. This must be old articles.
It's small. It doesn't look like, how volcanoes are huge and all. Okay, so that looks like an exploding mound.
Here we go. Despite their nickname, ice volcanoes aren't really volcanoes at all. The cone-like mounds form at the edges of lakes where thin sheets of ice form and water shoots through holes in the ice. So it
just looks like a sandcastle that's blowing up.
Yeah, it is basically just a mound. Why is mound such a goofy word? I don't know. I'm not going to get into it.
I was right.
Isn't there a candy called Mounds? Isn't there a candy called Mounds?
Yeah.
What the heck is it?
Yeah, like almond.
It's
Okay,
like
you have the almond joy.
coconut.
Yeah, and then you have the
Yeah,
Mounds.
no, I think the coconut is the almond joy.
Yeah, I can both of them.
It's what?
Almond joy is chocolate with coconut in it with an almond on top. The Mounds is without the almond.
I was gonna say almond joy's got the nuts.
Yeah, it's got the nuts.
That's what Rebecca just said too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mounds is a
Mounds
candy
don't
bar
have
made
nuts.
by the Hershey Company consisting of shredded sweetened coconut coated in dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually not
Mounds
nuts.
don't have no nuts.
So the almond joys are topped with whole almonds, but Mounds are not. So we just got it backwards.
You have a nut.
Or I just got it backwards. Got some nuts on that candy? Mr. Joker, quit watching the TV. We're trying to do a podcast. Turn it off.
You don't know.
I see you look away from the camera, man.
You don't know.
All right. Holy crap! It's already like 6:55. Leslie, I don't know how late you said you were going to be, so.
That's okay. I already texted him.
All right, let me. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I want to step off camera so Death can appear. Death can appear. Death can strike a fear in the hearts of thousands.
Oh, homie, you can't speak English today, homie, huh?
When can I ever speak English? Let's be honest. It's every episode.
Speak it in reverse. Speak reverse English.
I thought about doing that on an episode too, since I originally wanted all the games with Death to be different games. I thought about doing one where you had to unscramble the letters of the words.
Yeah.
Which could be interesting.
I would do that.
And Twiztid Joker already said he's good with a spelling bee. So one of them's going to be a spelling bee, just for future reference. That might not be till like 3 or 4 episodes from now, because this one's probably going to carry on for like 10 episodes at this point. Oh my God. See, this is where I should have written you something to say and text it to you, so it'd be like you're summoning. The coolest thing would be if we were all in the same room with a green screen, and then we could hang on, actually I want to try something.
You know what, Tony? We're gonna make that happen, because eventually I'm gonna be up there investigating the Pittsburgh battlefield. I want
to go to Gettysburg. That's like the one place I would like to go to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go out my way, swing up there to Indiana, pick up my little brother, and then we'll go up there. Do a podcast on the battlefield.
Oh my God. What is the realm of the dead called, Leslie?
Hell.
Not hell, but like in like mythology. Hades? Underworld.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for. Underworld.
Hades is the one that runs the Underworld.
Yeah. Yeah. I get so confused because I swear at some point in time I heard
Hades
it called...
is a good dude. He's a good dude.
There's a very specific reason why I'm doing this. Let's see. Oh, this will look cool. There we go.
Oh, I like that.
There's our death background. See, it'd be cool if I could apply that to everybody, so it's like we're all there.
I know.
I had to switch to my XSplit to do it. Of course, that's making it. There we go. All right. I'm just gonna put it on. Screw it, and I'll just edit it out and make it seem like I appeared. Screw it. Holy crap! What was that?
I don't think I can take you serious.
As soon as I put this on, I heard like a loud bang. It's like I really am in Hades right now. Oh my goodness, I just said Hades again.
You are in the underworld, but you are Hades. And you're summoning things.
I will probably change the voice, but can you hear me okay, or is it too muffled? That was my last question. But sometimes the microphone... All right. Okay. So I don't know how much time do you have, Leslie? That'll decide how many questions I'm going to do.
Well, we can run it for about 30 minutes.
All right. Yeah, because it's like 6 o'clock your time now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I had a couple of them already written down. Welcome to the Underworld. I am your host for this evening. Hopefully you can hear me very good. It's not very good connection down here. We don't have very good Wi-Fi in the Underworld.
I can't take you serious, Hades. You sound like Darth Vader.
Leslie, I am your father.
Oh, cool!
This evening, you will be working as a team. I really wish you were in the Underworld too, but for the sake of this podcast, we're just going to pretend that you are.
I wish I was there too.
We have some trivia questions. Some of them will be revolved around me, and others will be revolved around death in general. Some of these will be difficult, and some of them will be easy. First question. Just keep in mind that you are a team for this episode. And I'm really hot. It is very hot. Even this air conditioner cannot cool me off at this point in time. First question. After a certain amount of days of dying, the enzymes that help break down a person's food begin to eat that person's body. How many days does it take for these enzymes to begin feeding on that person's body?
28.
Holy crap, that's almost a month. It's not quite that long. What do you say, Twiztid Joker? I mean, you're on the same team, so you can coordinate amongst each other. I don't care what you do.
I'll say 15.
You are both very wrong. The answer is 3. It only takes 3 days for the enzymes that help break down food to begin eating you alive when you're dead. I don't know how they eat you alive when you're already dead, so I guess they eat you dead.
They eat you dead.
There is approximately a certain amount of people who die each day around the world. What is this number of people?
1,000.
Not even close.
Larger.
Probably like 80,000 or something.
That's
Think
probably
large
like
scale.
a billion.
Is that your final? Wait, you both have to come to the same decision here.
About
Whatever
a billion.
she says.
Hold on.
You better not be Googling that answer over there with Wi-Fi.
How am I Google? The laptop's on my paper. Okay, paper.
I don't know. I can't see. My eyes are very black. That's all I see is darkness down here.
It's empty. So,
I'll give you an autograph later.
I'm pulling numbers from my mind. I have a 1.6 billion.
That answer is also incorrect. The answer is 150,000.
I was gonna originally say 100,000.
I probably would have at least said you were close on that one.
Yeah.
I don't think I could quite fit 1 billion souls a day in Underworld.
Well, why not?
I don't know if I could cast that many people into the Underworld. I might need a little bit of help.
Okay.
In New York City, more people commit blank than are murdered. I probably just gave you the answer on that.
Okay. More people commit crime than murder.
You can
For
work together.
New York, they kill people a lot. You have to think New York is either very rich or very poor. A lot of gangsters.
Are you defaulting to Leslie, Twiztid Joker?
I was trying to think of the correct term for it. I think it's manslaughter.
It is incorrect. The answer is actually more people commit suicide than are murdered in New York City. At least according to these 61 grave death facts. I don't know how many of them are true.
Richard Hades is supposed to know everything.
I know everything on my end, but I'm not allowed to disclose the information right now.
It's a secret.
It is believed that I am based on a certain god, also known as... Well, I'm not going to give that away.
Okay, wait a minute. Hades is based on a certain god?
Think Greek. Or think death. Just call me Death for the sake of this episode, because I am actually going to be Death instead of Hades. I know I look like a devil, but I couldn't control what I looked like. I didn't have choice in that.
Run the question one more time.
It is believed that I am based on a certain god, but think Greek gods. That will at least give you a little bit of easier
Greek
time.
god.
I have
Hades?
no idea.
Who's the god of death in Greek? The death goddess, a Greek
I
goddess.
will give you a hint. It is not a death god that I am actually supposedly based off of. It's actually very confusing. I should have just told you what it was instead of asking you.
Okay, wait. Are you a god or a goddess? Male or female?
I am based off of a Greek god.
Greek god.
I'm going to say Zeus.
Here's a hint. This Greek god ties to time and the harvest, which spawned the symbolism of my hourglass and scythe.
Oh, shit, I should know.
It's not Grim Reaper. These are facts about the Grim Reaper.
No, Grim Reaper's not of,
I can't think of its name.
no, okay, it's not Hurricane Odon.
Sorry, that was one of my leading ladies that wanted to throw out an answer.
Hecate is the goddess of death Hades is the god of hell.
Think more on the hourglass. It may help you.
The god of time.
Hourglass leads to time.
I don't know who it is.
Time is up. The answer is Kronos.
Who?
It is believed that the Grim Reaper is based on the Greek god of Kronos, also known as Father Time. Kronos' ties to time and the harvest spawn the symbolism of the Reaper's hourglass and sight.
Tide.
Twiztid Joker.
I would have never
How
guessed.
deep into comic books are you? Are you familiar with the comic book Sandman?
A little bit.
Neil Gaiman's Sandman comics portray death as a blank.
Oh, man.
Sandman was going to trade death as what?
In these comics, the artist of the comic named Sandman portrays death as a blank.
Isn't it something similar to the Headless Horseman?
No.
He portrays death as something else.
It is a comic book, so think artistry, as he will draw death as something.
I don't know Sandman in the comic book. It's more like a
Scarecrow.
I mean, I would have put on the Scarecrow face if we were going to do that, but that is incorrect.
Like a bed of flowers or something. Like you're sleeping in a dream, like a dream state.
We are referring to the character of death, so this would be Grim Reaper on this one. So he's drawing him as something specific, and the answer would be a teenage girl.
Yeah, because you said artist, teenage girl.
Apparently, in the Sandman comics, I'm a teenage girl. I don't know why, because the last time I checked, I did not have girl parts, and I was not a teenager.
Somebody went and got some surgery there.
Neil Gaiman, I will see you very soon, and we will talk about this in person.
You go both ways.
Soon after death, a person's eyeballs do something due to the loss of blood pressure. What do the eyeballs do after death?
Shrivel.
I will give you that. The answer is flatten, but I will still take that as shrivel, so that's close enough. Congratulations, you've got one answer out of I don't know how many questions I did. Oh my goodness. Apparently I'm trying to end the Zoom meeting. See, like I said, Wi-Fi and technical difficulties down here in the Underworld, they go hand in hand. Okay, that sounds like the same thing. Holy crap. How many people are killed in the U.S. each year due to mistakes on the doctor's note, mainly due to messy handwriting?
How many people are killed?
Yeah, they die in the U.S. In the U.S. What the heck am I talking about? The United States!
The U.S.?
The Underworld of the United States of America.
I like that. So, how many people die basically for forgery of doctor's notes?
It's not forgery. The doctors themselves make a mistake. There's a mistake done due to messy handwriting from the doctors. And it kills a certain amount of people in the United States each year.
I'm going to say 23,000.
So since doctors have really crappy handwriting, it leads to a lot of deaths. I thought doctors were supposed to save people, not kill them, but that is neither here nor there.
68,000.
It is much lower. The answer is 7,000. Let's see. Well, this one is very interesting. I didn't even know this one. Compared to right hand, oh my goodness, never mind. I'll just read you the fact now because I just gave it away. Compared to right-handers, left-handers die at least 3 years earlier.
Wait, what was that?
Compared to right-handers, people who are right-handed, left-handed people die at least 3 years earlier. How many people die a year due to shark attacks?
Like 2.
Yeah, there's not many shark attacks on the news. Let's do 7.
7 is very close. The answer is 12. But you were very close. How many sharks are killed by humans in an hour?
Well, considering that they are very huge and there's so many of them, this number would be very low. 3.
Do you have an answer, Twiztid Joker?
I was thinking more like 15 or 20.
You are very close. The answer is 11,417 sharks are killed by people in about an hour.
We were close.
That's not true at all. That they
Yes,
have
it
that
is.
many sharks?
I have it right here on my paperwork. There's plenty of sharks in the underworld. We devoted a little zoo for them. In Ethiopia, a child is blank more times likely to die by his or her 5th birthday than a child in Western Europe.
60%.
So 60 times
30.
is your answer.
Whatever, 60 times.
Well, remember, you're working together, so you both need to agree on an answer.
30. Meet you in the middle.
Do you both agree?
Sure.
The answer was 30. Good job, Twiztid Joker, for agreeing with Leslie. She was dead on with that answer.
Because I looked at my crystal ball. I was like, I need some answers. See me looking over here?
No more palissal. No more palissal? What the heck is a palissal? We cannot look at crystal balls anymore. That is not fair. That is cheating.
Like, I need answers.
You don't really need answers. You're not supposed to win. Oh, wait. I wasn't supposed to say that?
Well, regardless, I'll still come keep you company in Hell World.
During World War II, about blank percent of all Soviet males that were killed. Oh, my goodness. During World War II, about 80% of all blank males that were born in 1923 died. So you're thinking percentages here. And these are Soviets. During World War II.
Soviets, I'm going to say probably like 70%.
It is Soviets. Well, actually, it was even more detailed than that. It was Soviets that were born in 1923. A certain percentage of them died.
Shoot, a lot of them died.
Soviet males.
In World War II?
In World War II.
So like 18-year-olds. Yeah, I'm still going to stick to about 70%.
What was that? 70?
80.
Yeah.
I would say 80.
All right. Does anybody want to default to the other?
We'll go with the 80.
80% is correct. I will soon have to send minions to destroy that crystal ball if Leslie keeps getting these answers.
I tap into my like I have to. Okay, wait, you know what? At this point, I'm cheating.
Vending machines kill about blank people a year.
What machines?
Vending machines. Be careful with that next dollar you spend, Twiztid Joker. It could be your last.
12.
12. Yeah, we'll go with that.
You were very close. The answer is 13. My favorite number in the underworld. That Coke must really be worth your life, I suppose.
I guess.
In 1900, the lifespan in America was an average of blank years. Okay, never mind, because there's like 3 different answers on that. Every minute, blank cells die in the human body. This is a number. What amount of cells die in the human body every minute?
I'm sure it's in the thousands.
That's what I'm getting. Thousands. 10,000.
Give us an exact number. Do you default to 10,000, Twiztid Joker?
Yeah, that's fine.
10,114.
You should have went much higher. The answer is actually 300 million.
Damn.
I don't know how you can fit that many cells in one body, but that's neither here nor there. Hair and nails. Wait, what? Okay, here we go. Do hair and nails grow after death?
Yes. It's the only part of your body that stays growing after death.
The answer is actually hair and nails do not grow after death. They appear to grow as soft tissues of the fingers and scalp dry out and shrink from fingernails and hair roots. They actually do not really grow. They just appear to grow.
They grow.
They do not grow.
You're deceitful. You're deceitful. Liar.
Hey, what do you expect then? The ruler of the Underworld. It goes hand in hand. Scientists at Southampton University have found evidence that awareness can continue for at least a blank amount of minutes after clinical death.
7.
Wait. I'm just going to give you this one because it just says a few minutes and it doesn't give me an answer. Moving on. Let's see. In Cartoon Networks, the Grimm Adventures of Billy... Oh, the Grimm Adventures? I know I was communing with Tonysaurus Rex earlier, but it seems like his brain functionality is mixing in with mine.
That's what you get for possessing him.
In Cartoon Network's The Grimm Adventures of Billy and Mandy, the Grim Reaper was blank to befriend the title characters after losing a limbo contest.
What?
After losing a limbo contest, the Grim Reaper was something he had to do with the title characters of, I don't know.
He lost a limbo contest?
Apparently so. This is in the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy on Cartoon Network.
He could just walk through the freaking bar. He might have broken his
he wanted to actually participate in the contest. The answer was that he was forced to befriend the title characters. What is the Grim Reaper Society?
Grim Reaper Society. Hellboy.
Yeah, I got no clue on that one.
The Grim Reaper Society is a Canadian anti-smoking movement and accounting of smoking-related deaths.
That doesn't make any sense.
What is the name of the religious group who worships the Grim Reaper as a saint?
Got no clue.
You have an answer, Leslie.
Besides Satanists? No, I've never heard that one before. The Cult of Death?
They worship the Grim Reaper as a saint. So they think very highly of me in this religious group. The answer is Santa Muerte.
What is it?
Santa Muerte.
Santa Muerte. Muerte.
Whatever, I don't know how to pronounce the word. But apparently they tried to seek official recognition, but the Catholic Church does not approve.
Of course they don't.
In what 1957 movie? Oh my goodness, why am I going so old? I don't know. But in this 1957 movie, it shows a young knight challenging death to a game of chess. Their wager is the knight's life. What is the name of this movie?
Oh, I don't know.
Me either.
I don't watch anything that old.
The answer is The Seventh Seal.
Never would have guessed that.
How many bodies are on Mount Everest? A hint, they are so well preserved that they are used as trail markers.
Dead bodies?
Dead bodies that are well preserved and used as trail markers on Mount Everest.
Wait, so are they in the ground?
Yes, I guess they are frozen there, if they're well preserved.
And there's dirt covered on top of them?
More like snow, because it's Mount Everest.
Okay,
At least judging from the picture that is listed on this site.
Is this in America?
I do not think Mount Everest is in America, but I do not remember.
I'm going to say 75.
I was seeing 70s.
Mount Everest is in Asia.
Oh, man. Never mind. I was like, road trip. Maybe like
the answer is 200. There are 200 bodies on Mount Everest.
I'm going to put a note right here. 200 bodies on Mount Everest. This is my bucket list.
What is the Latin word for stiffness of death?
What is the what?
Latin word for stiffness of death.
Rigor mortis.
You are correct. Congratulations, you've gotten 3 answers correct so far.
Wait, Zach, you know Latin?
I know a little bit, not very much.
I'm studying it.
Little known fact, I actually took Latin when I was just a little puppy and I was a teenager. I do not remember anything from Latin, but I once tried to create a heavy metal band with the Latin words being masters of... What the heck was the Latin words? I don't remember.
So you studied Latin
before
you were a teenage girl?
It was Domini Waters. I was not a girl, Twiztid Joker. I heard that.
And if I ever see the Dutch grouper in real life, I'd be like, okay, take you serious.
I don't know what that guy was thinking, but he will be seeing me soon enough to find out.
Next question.
Let's see. We will give you one more question because, Leslie, I know you have to leave, so we got to get you out of the underworld quickly. It is estimated that about blank, oh my, this is a number. About blank people have died since Homo sapiens appeared over 200,000 years ago. Wherever they're getting their information from.
That's a big number.
2,300.
This is over 200,000 years ago. So you got to think if you're listing 200,000 years of people, I don't think you're anywhere close. You might want to think much higher on that.
I'm going to say like 200 billion.
Twiztid Joker, you are very close. The estimate is actually 100 billion. So I'm going to give you that. What were the very last words of Thomas Edison?
Goodbye.
I created the light bulb.
The very last words of Thomas Edison were, "It is very beautiful over there." I don't know what over there he was referring to.
He probably
Apparently
saw
not
the
where
light.
you
Yeah.
I mean, he could be. Like I said, there's too many people down here.
Too
Wait a
many
minute.
people to keep track.
More people die from blank than from shark attacks. You will be very surprised at this, because this one actually makes me laugh.
More people die from...
This will be the final question.
I'm going to say rabies.
I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun. Be careful taking your next selfie, Twiztid Joker. You may die more times than a shark if you take a selfie. More people die from selfies than from shark attacks. I worded that wrong.
It's all right, I don't take selfies.
But if you think about that only 12 people die from shark attacks, then I can see way more people take selfies. How does the selfie actually kill them, unless it's someone in the background while they're taking the selfie that decides to murder them?
Unless you're doing it while you're driving or you're not paying attention
That
and
makes
you run
sense.
into a
Doing it while driving.
tree.
Because idiots do a lot of things while driving.
No, they're going to take a selfie and run into the pole or something that's right in front of them.
Maybe they get electrocuted when they drop it into the toilet when they're chopping a deuce.
Probably.
A steaming pile of electricity. Ow!
Well,
your face off.
Since we failed at this, this
that didn't
game
happen.
Since we failed at this game of getting out of the underworld, I got to get back to my air conditioner shop here. So.
Well, Hades is gone, but apparently he has trapped me in the underworld because you did not get enough answers correct in this trivia. So I'm still trapped here for now. That's what we're going to do. Like I said, I kind of threw this together last minute. But the goal of answering the most questions right is to get me out of the underworld. That could make things more interesting. There's more of a intensity to the
if we played the one with, like, roll the dice, you know, like, in the guess the numbers, I was like, okay, you would come out the underworld.
Oh, the rolling the dice. I can't make it that easy.
I already see it. I see a 4.
I mean, maybe I'll get out of the underworld on the spelling bee. All right, everybody. That is going to do it for this episode of Everything But the Podcast. Now a part of the Strange Society Network of podcasts. Make sure that you follow StrangePodNet on Twitter. Follow Everything But 18 because I couldn't do Everything But the Podcast as a Twitter handle. If you'd like to find out more for our show, or find us on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Spreaker, and we're just freaking everywhere. Just check everywhere. We're not that hard to find. Just Google Everything But the Podcast. I'm pretty sure we'll pop up somewhere. Also available on my YouTube at Tonysaurus Rex. Yeah, that's going to do it. I don't know if either of you have any shout outs you'd like to do at the end of episode. I've never done any exclusive shout outs. We could start doing that. But we'll give a shout out to the Where the Scary Things Are horror podcast by Ken and Muse because they are always polite enough to shout out our podcast and to shout out me on like a lot of their episodes. To make sure everybody checks them out. If it was not for the Where the Scary Things Are horror podcast, we would not be a part of the Strange Society Network, which we are now a part of. So be sure to check them out. Once again, be sure to check out Gin and Terror Pod by Taylor, Courtney, and Kayla. They also have a website. I believe it is ginandterrorpod.net. I believe is the name of it. Let me look it up here. ginandterrorpodcast.com. So you can go there to find out more about them as like each individual, or you can find out more about their podcast, and you can find them on Spotify, Google, Apple, pretty much all the places we are, I believe. And Courtney has her own YouTube called C Sharp. Just find her on Twitter at C Sharp. I think it's spelled with like 2 S's or 2 H's or something like that. But look her up. Leslie is no longer on Twitter, but be sure to follow or subscribe to Leslie on YouTube at All Things Paranormal Leslie. And Leslie, you also have a second YouTube channel. I don't know if you want to promote that on here, but it's The Life of Leslie J. So be sure to go and check that out too, because there's some cool stuff on there. She just released a video recently of the alligators in Louisiana, which was pretty cool. So be sure to check that out. Twiztid Joker only has one video on his channel, which includes me, and it is the human fall flat video that we did together. Hopefully there will be more on his channel soon that we can do more stuff together. And his channel is Twiztid Joker 717 on YouTube. Be sure to check that out. And yeah, I guess that's it for shout outs.
We need to try to record something this week for it.
Hopefully. When did you say you're off? Thursday? Maybe we can record something.
Monday and Thursday.
I'm off Friday. So I really wish you were.
Maybe Thursday night.
Yeah, because I have a 3-day weekend, so I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 4th of July.
I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
If I can ever get out of the freaking underworld, I'll be off. So that might dictate on
his second job.
I have to check with Death and see if I can still play video games in the underworld.
Yeah.
I mean, he said the Wi-Fi connection wasn't very good, so I don't know how well the connection would be.
To the viewers, I am. So being off of Twitter is temporary, but I am highly active on Instagram right now. Follow me on the gram.
What is your
all the way around. The name's the same all the way around. Just search in your engineer, all things paranormal Leslie.
Twiztid Joker is also on Instagram. I believe it's
Yes.
Twiztid Joker 717. I am on Instagram as Real Tonysaurus Rex and on Facebook as Real Tonysaurus Rex. So be sure to check out those pages. And we will catch you all in the next episode for part 2 of them trying to get me out of Underworld. At the rate it's going, I don't think I'm ever going to escape the Underworld, but we shall see. There was a total of like, I was trying to mix it up, but the total facts, like just the facts about death, was like 61. So there was a lot to go through. And then the ones I could find on Grim Reaper was only like 13. But if you add those together, that's quite a bit of trivia. So we may mix it up next time and do a different game. Because Death likes to mix it up and change games on like every episode. So we'll see where that goes. Be on the lookout sometime soon. I don't know if it'll be this week for Ultimate Metalverse, which Twiztid Joker will finally join me for. I still haven't got another chapter of that story written yet, so that's why I've been holding off. And Popcorn Farts may turn into like a once a month type of deal because I just cannot do so much at one time, which is what I was trying to do. Way too many things at one time. But be on the lookout. I'm going to go ahead and announce it here. If anybody is a fan of my old characters that I used to do, now we've just met Death, so we have Death characters, so maybe I can incorporate him into future videos. But if you're fans of Dalai Lama, Clown Roy, or most importantly, Twiztid Joker, you already know this because I told you about it, is Jestro. For Patreon exclusively, I am giving Jestro his own talk show style podcast called The Jestro Show, so be on the lookout for that. It might take a couple weeks because I'm trying to build it, like I said, like a talk show, and I don't have any guests, so I may have to do where I'm the guest, which would be really strange if I want to do video on that, so it may just be audio. But I have learned there's a way to, instead of doing Zoom like we're doing now, I guess in an editor, there is a way to put videos side by side, so I may be able to work it out. But be on the lookout for the Jestro Show. That will be exclusive to Patreon members only at the $3 or $6 tier. And yeah, that's about it. That's everything for this episode. I don't know if you all have anything else you want to say before we get off the air. Otherwise, we will see you all. You might see us all in the next episode. I don't know. It depends. We kind of go week by week on whether or not it's video or audio. But yes, have a great one, everybody. You will be listening to this on Wednesday. If you're on Patreon, you will probably listen to this on the same day or watch this on the same day, which is Sunday. Patreon gets early access to all of our podcasts. So, I mean, if you're listening to this on Wednesday, then you weren't on Patreon. So get to it. Quit sucking off. You could have listened to this days earlier, man. What are you waiting for? But yes, shout out one last time to the Strange Society Network. Very happy to be a part of this. There are some things that I have in the works with Strange Society Network. I don't think I'm at liberty to announce yet because there isn't a date. But I will talk to Twiztid Joker and Leslie off camera. It may just be me at this point. I don't think that they would have enough space for all three of us, so it may just be me for this. But I may be able to get you involved in it in the future. I'll have to talk to Ken personally and ask him about it. But yeah, we'll talk about that off the air. So yes, that has done it for this episode of Everything But the Podcast. This was episode 25. We are now 25 episodes in, which is pretty cool. We probably would have been a lot more episodes in if I didn't take like a 4-month hiatus from last year into this year when I brought Twiztid Joker in. But yeah, 25 is a pretty big deal. At least I think it is. So here is to like 2,500 more, at least. I don't know how many years that would take. Yeah, here's to many more episodes. We will check you all out again in episode 26. Just like I said last time, we'll check you all out. Hear us next time on episode 26. Peace out, everybody.
Bye-bye.